Okay, this texture is called smiles because it starts with smiles. It's all smiles. So get your paper, get your pen, and you start with a line of smiles about the size of a fingertip. And you connect them. You connect your smiles. So you just kind of go down and up and down and up and down and up and make your smiles. Oh my goodness. Let me do some more so that you can actually see it on screen. They're the smiles. And then underneath the smiles, each one gets 2 smaller smiles. So underneath this one, 2 smaller smiles. And you will see that they are not, the columns of smiles are not connected with any other smiles. So you do that for each smile above. All right, and then below the small smiles, you do another group of large smiles. And what you have to do is make sure you have the same number of them as you did on the top row, and that this matches and has a partner, that each smile has its partner down below. So each smile has one down below. Then after you do the large smiles, you're going to do small smiles. Okay. And then below that row of big smiles, you're going to do 2 small smiles. You can see there's not a lot of space there, so you don't want these to be huge, and you don't want them to be so large that they overwhelm your dancer, that the texture will be going around. So we did 2 smalls. Now we're ready for another group of large. And again, you need to make sure that the pattern is repeated. Okay? And then guess what? We're going to do another row of smalls on pause. Okay? So what's after the 2 smalls but another row of large, which I'll do on pause. And then 1 more smalls. Now you could do as many as you had room for, and also you can realize that horizontal and vertical tend to be kind of boring. So if I had my choice, I would do my first ones on my project on an angle like this, and because diagonals add more interest. All right, but when you practice, you might want to practice it horizontal and vertical so that you can practice having them line up so that you have rows of matching designs. All right, so you could do as many of these as you wanted and had room for on your dancing project, your dancer project. So now what you're going to do is you're going to draw a line that curves down and connects the first 2, then straight down, then curve out. And go down, follow this line. And then on the next row, you start right here, curve down, drop down, flare out, go in, down, out, in, and down. And come back up to the same crease right here. And now go down this side. Down and out, in, down and out, in, down and out, in and down. And then we'll do this side. Okay, 1 more over here on camera. And then I will do the rest on pause. All right, almost done. Last one. All right, what's our next step? This next step is to do these very skinny pinstripes in between them. So in this space, you're going to do skinny little pin stripes so that the lines are parallel to each other and as close to each other as you can go so that they make hash marks. Skinny little pinstripes. Okay, I'm going to finish this row on pause. First row is done. Now we're ready for the next row. So make sure these lines are parallel to the ones above it. Which might seem super easy when you do your design on the horizontal and parallel to your paper. But again, when you are doing this on a diagonal, it might not be as obvious to you what direction to go in, right? But you'll want to keep it parallel and not just randomly change directions. All right, I'm going to finish this row on pause. All right, 2 more rows to go. There we go. So I finished all the pinstripes. And before we do the shading with the pencil, what can we do with the top? Well, let's just go ahead and put a couple U's in here and kind of slowly fill it in. So it's not just a big empty spot. Okay, how to shade, get a pencil. So I happen to shade here on the left side of all of them, though you could do the right side if you prefer. So all along the one side, being consistent, all the way down, you add some shading and then you add more shading and less shading out here. It's okay to let the pencil marks show to make it look lighter. You can have the pencil line show and then darker. So pencil lines, these are called hatch marks, cross hatching, and then you go even darker towards the side. And you could also have what's called reflection right there by having a little gap, but don't have it just plain white. So that lighter spot right there, and then darker, and then lighter again. So reflected shadow, I think is what they call it, where it gets like a little bit lighter on the edge, but this is not going to be as light as where the light is actually hitting. It's just lighter than this darker bit right here. So again, start by doing a general shadow, then add kind of some heavier stuff and then some lighter stuff on the sides. Heavy, medium, light. Heavy, medium, light. And you do it consistently on all of them. So it looks like that. But hopefully smaller like this. This one's a little big. You can see that that first smile, I said, you know, do it about as big as your finger. Well, that first smile is quite a bit bigger than my finger, really. So remember, like the size of your finger, no bigger. And then finish your shading to give it dimension. There you go. Starts with smiles, so remember to smile. Good luck.